here's an account, Richard von Coudenhove Kalergi. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of May. Beautiful afternoon it is here, around 15 degrees. And just a few comments since my last video. Bud Light sales have dropped drastically, and the second director of the company is now being fired. They've lost $6 billion in revenue, imagine that. So could it be that it was transgenderism that's what's being marketed, not the beer, and the boycott continues? So can you imagine if they had given out that amount of beer for free, what a much better advertising campaign it would have been. Now, years ago I was out in Inishboffin and I got a tour of the island, and one of the fellow who brought me around the island showed me a house that was beautiful. It was two cottages joined together, and it was actually built by the guy who bred the horses for the Budweiser commercials, and he only visited for 2 weeks of the year. But magnificent, very, very tastefully done. Two holiday cottages joined together with something similar to a lighthouse in the middle. But it was very beautiful. So go woke, go broke. Interestingly, Keith Wood had his Twitter account reinstated there. He'd been banned since December 2021. He was reinstated there in April of this year, and in one of his tweets he put out about the hate speech legislation that the government currently wants to pass, and it would be the most stringent hate speech laws in the world, and his tweet on it has been retweeted 11 million times. Imagine that. But there's Johnny Fox's pub there on the left hand side, very popular South Dublin place to visit. 11 million times, and being retweeted by Elon Musk, Jordan Peterson, and Trump's son. Quite extraordinary. And in this legislation, a person will be deemed guilty until proved themselves innocent. And I never thought I'd see the day where it'd actually be in agreement with Paul Murphy, but he came out very strongly against it. You know, also there last week, Barry Humphries passed away at the age of 89 years old. A great fan of him, Dame Edna Everage, and his alter ego, Sir Les Patterson, culture ambassador, and fabulous character he created. But interestingly, the comedy festival he helped set up, the Melbourne Comedy Festival, himself and Peter Cook, and after an interview he did with a newspaper, he was cancelled effectively, and he was quite upset, as you can imagine, about that. So comedy seems to have lost its humour, and his comments basically in an interview said that transgender surgeries were self-mutilation, and that he thought transgenderism itself was actually something which had become fashionable. And if gender is a social construct, why then the need for surgery? It's funny, it's at school, it reminds me that we had a science teacher who used to say to us that the universe is made up of protons, electrons, neutrons and muons, and used to make us join in for the muon part. So a lot of silliness and clown world around. My interest in aircraft, I spotted an Antonov 12 taking off from Shannon. Beautiful aircraft run by Kavok Air. It's built in 1957, and any YouTube video will show these beautiful old machines with so much smoke coming out that you'd swear they're burning coal rather than aviation fuel. And I spotted an Air Corps PC-9 flying around Kildare there last week, and registration number 266, but the photograph put up on Flight Radar, I thought was very funny, was of an aircraft registered 266, but a World War I Fokker DR7, of which 3,000 were built. This particular model was flown by the Royal Netherlands Air Force, and unfortunately the Air Corps lost two of their aircraft there last month, where a CASA was towed, one of the new PC-12s was towed into the maritime CASA, and unfortunately putting two aircraft out of action. And also today, interesting enough, the 2nd of May was the inaugural flight of the first jet flight from London to Johannesburg, South Africa, in 1952, and the cost of that flight was £5,000 per ticket. Imagine that, extraordinary amount of money. And unfortunately, on the first anniversary of that flight in 1953, there was a comet that flew from Singapore to London while refueling at Calcutta Airport, crashed after metal fatigue broke up, and within another year 2 other Comet aircraft were disintegrated while in flight, thus resulting in the Comet fleet being grounded. So, and today actually is the anniversary of the assassination of Bin Laden, if you will. So they're just a couple of comments for Jeremy Owen. Hope you enjoyed the little drive in the countryside here. I'm sure some of you might know where it comes out, but nice part of the world. I'll just let the music play out for a little bit. A bit of a Chopin fan. A friend of mine on Spareban, unfortunately, isn't with us anymore. He's a piano teacher. This petrol station in front of us there used to have Ukrainian flags hanging out, and thankfully they're not showing them anymore. This coming back into Stepside, and there's a lovely beautiful church on the left hand side made of wood, blue, painted in blue, so another famous landmark. And we're coming back now into Stepside. Quite a lot of development going on around here. This would all been countryside up until quite recently. There are a couple of comments from Jeremy Owen. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon, good luck, and God bless.